remember whenever people said that Sonic had too many friends, whenever people said that his friends were stupid, unnecessary, they ruined the gameplay, was like not needed. I think the poster child, and people can attest to this, that the most hated character of all, that was the main one that you could point your finger at and say, this is the worst character of all time in Sonic, was Big the Cat. It is honestly astounding to me, because right out the gate whenever he first appeared, people hated him. They thought he was horrible. But to do that, I want to go over his character, because I personally think that Big the Cat is a great character. He's not like one of my favorite Sonic characters of all time, but I have such a soft spot for this gentle giant that I can't help but make a video on him. Like I said in my previous video, I want to do more videos on Sonic and with his characters, and Big the Cat is just one of the first that I want to go over, because I can't help but adore this cat. He is just so chill, like he has a vibe that I just love, and I can't help but just not cover him. Sonic Adventure was the first true 3D game, the first game to truly separate Sonic from his classic self to his modern self, to bring about new stories, having to expand upon characters, lore, the world building, and with that comes new characters and new stories to tell. And with Sonic Adventure, there are 6 playable characters. You obviously have speed types like Sonic, Tails, you have treasure hunting like Knuckles, you have Amy, Gamma, and the last and sadly the most hated from this game is Big the Cat. The reason why is because whenever the Dreamcast came out, this was still whenever in the time to where video game consoles wanted to show off their technology, and one of the biggest things that the Dreamcast wanted to show off using Sonic Adventure was the water physics. That's why in the game, such characters as like Chaos is a giant water monster, and that's the same reason why Big the Cat was made, to show off the water graphics and how impressive it was at that time. And here lies the problem with it. I personally don't have a problem with it, but a lot of fans, still to this day I would assume, have a problem with Sonic games not having gameplay that's not related to Sonic. And that's why I feel a lot of people are more kind to stories like Knuckles and Tails and Amy, because they were still technically moving fast and going fast. But with Big the Cat, it's very slow, very drawn out, you're just fishing essentially. Now, I personally don't have a problem with this. I enjoy Sonic games that do different things from the norm. I mean, hell, Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Adventure 2 are some of my favorite Sonic games of all time, and those heavily diverge from what is considered the Sonic, type of gameplay. And I think overall what doesn't help is with the plot of this game. The thing is this, Sonic Adventure, with all the stories tied together, Sonic of course being the main one, but every other character at least revolves around or takes place around Sonic himself. Knuckles especially having a great story that expands upon his tribe, his people, and overall the reasoning about the Master Emerald itself and the overall result of Chaos. And the problem with that is with Big the Cat, and this is why I like Big the Cat, is none of it is related to him. He has no stake in the race at all. His plot essentially in the game is to find his friend Froggy, who accidentally swallowed a Chaos Emerald, which of course Dr. Eggman needs to power Chaos. And I like the fact that Big the Cat in the whole story is just like a regular guy. He has no real special ability, he's just a guy that wants to save his friend. And I can admit, it is a little bit weird, the fact that you have Big the Cat essentially involved in this massive epic game that results into this world-ending destruction, Chaos God, Super Sonic, and here you just have Big the Cat fishing. And I can't admit, it is a little bit stupid, but that's what I like about it, the fact that they're able to have such different tones. Now, sure, it doesn't work all the time, but I think for something like Sonic Adventure, it does it really well. And I can understand why some people weren't keen on that, because people say, it's like you have to force yourself to play through that story to get to the final story which people really want. But my thing is this, there's only 4 levels. It's not even like that many. It's not like the 10 that's in Sonic. It's just 4 levels of fishing. It's not even like that bad. But still, I can understand why people didn't like them. I mean, like, you have a scene where Takal is talking about like the extinction of her race and like her people, and about like, you know, like colonization and like taking over the world. And here you have Big the Cat looking for his pet frog. I can admit that there's a problem there, I know that, but I still find the joy in that.
Father, please don't!
Takal, the 7 emeralds are essential to our survival. It is for the good of all our people.
How can I make you understand? Attacking other countries, stealing and killing can't be the right path to peace. No one has the right to take their holy grounds. I beg you, Father!
Froggy? Uh-oh. No! Hold on there! Come back, please!
Just seeing this cat just, you know, just jumping for joy finding his friend, I don't know. I just think that's really appealing to me. And I love the fact that we're going to see later in this video, Big the Cat somehow finds himself in the strangest places, and I just think it's hilarious. Because in this game, you have Big the Cat make it to the egg carrier. I like the fact that you have Sonic and Tails like battling out, like fighting their life here, destroying the egg carrier, and Big the Cat somehow miraculously just makes it there. On top of the fact that he also steals the Tornado 2 in this game. I'm sorry. I love that about Big the Cat. He doesn't have that big of an impact on the story, even though he does help give a Chaos Emerald to Sonic in the final battle. But overall, I really do love Big the Cat in this game. It's not perfect by any means, but god damn it, I love him. Now, my next point here is with the internet. A lot of people, and I really do mean a lot of people, mainly fans of the classic games, because that was who was mainly running the internet during that time, a lot of people didn't like Big the Cat. They thought he was stupid, dumb, annoying, and that's where the whole conversation with Sonic's stupid friends came about. Because in the 2000s, Sonic was making friends left and right. He made friends in about every single game, introducing new gimmicks, new friends, new personalities, and fans of the older generation didn't really like that. And as we'll see throughout like his lifetime of like evolving throughout the games, that's where my next point is with Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 is held up to be one of the greatest games in the entire franchise. I stand by that. I think it is an amazing game. And what's funny about this is that the creators of this game, whenever they were making it, Big the Cat, he's not really in the game per se. He has no plot relevance, no like dialogue. He doesn't interact with the characters. What he does have though are cameos. He's in the background, and it's the funniest thing to look at. This was only in the Dreamcast version. It wasn't in the one that most people, like myself, have played, the Sonic Adventure 2 battle, to where all of his cameos were taken out. So most people don't know about it. And for his next game appearance, we have Sonic Heroes, which is sadly his last major role in one of these games. And I think he goes out on a pretty high note, I would say, because he's a part of Team Rose, which is my least favorite team of the game, but still a very good role. I like the team dynamic between the trio. I think it's very wholesome. I love the fact that in this game, Big the Cat is just so overprotective of his friends and is willing to do anything for them. I also love the fact that he's, you know, trying to find Froggy. It's basically just like his character at this point, just trying to find Froggy because he always gets lost. It doesn't help the fact that this game is a little bit like janky. Like, I love Sonic Heroes, don't get me wrong, but man, there's a lot of jank in this game. And like I said about the team dynamics, I just love the, you know, little like dialogue and like conversations they have with each other. One of them that stands out to me is whenever you're on the final act of the game, Final Fortress, Cream is like, you know, like asking, you know, like Amy, if like, have you experienced this before on the egg carrier? And then Amy goes like, Big has too. And I just love the fact that even early on during like, you know, like the more story-focused games, we have acknowledgement that Big the Cat he has seen shit before, like he has been in it, and I can't help but love it. It's too funny. I'm sorry.
This weather reminds me of our last attack on the egg carrier. You've been in battle before? What? You too, Mr. Big?
Doggy!
And then we end the game with him fighting Metal Sonic, and I think this is a very high note to go out on. Sure, he's not, directly fighting Metal Sonic in terms of, Super Sonic and all that, but I do love the fact that every teammate contributes, and this was, the first game to really introduce the whole group to one another. And with that, that is the end of Big the Cat, essentially, because going forward, he's essentially gone. That's it. Because we have two eras that we can blame for this. First, we have the dark era of Sonic, and I'm not gonna lie, I see why he wasn't in these games. Because in games like Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 06, I don't see him working anywhere. It doesn't make sense, because you have this alien invasion. It's the most edgiest game of all time. Having Big the Cat in this game, it wouldn't make sense. It would be pretty stupid. And then with games like Sonic Unleashed, there was no other characters between Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Eggman, so he's not needed there. And if he was in Sonic 06, I think I would die on the spot. I honestly couldn't imagine him being there. And with that, he basically got relegated to just cameos and appearances in other spin-off games. He was in the Mario and Sonic Olympic games. I don't even think he was playable in any of those games. He was in Sonic All-Stars Racing, where he's actually playable. That's actually amazing to me. During that time period where Sonic friends were hated, I am surprised he made the cut. I'm happy he's here, but I'm still surprised. And then we have the meta era, to where people were really saying Sonic has stupid, annoying friends, they don't need them, take them out of games. And it's really apparent that he's not in any of these games, and you could really tell. Sonic Colors, like I said, none of his friends are even there for it to really matter. Here's one of my points, is Sonic Generations. That is such a weird game for him to not be in, because I'm going to get to my other video for Omega. Him and Omega are the weird outliers for not being in this game, because they have models in the game, so I imagine that they had a role to play. But it's just weird to me that they're not at Sonic's party. Now, bear in mind, this still is the meta era, to where I feel like they felt obligated to have his friends in this game, and I feel like the writers, or just Sega, was alright, his friends are stupid, but we're not going to put Big the Cat, alright? We're not going to go that far. And I honestly feel kind of sad about it, because I would love for him to be in this game. I mean, yeah, sure, later in the video he's gonna get his redemption, but still, it just doesn't make sense. And then, he's not in Sonic Lost World, because of course. And I don't want to say this is something I want to talk about, but he's not in Sonic Forces, which I do understand, because this is a quote-unquote war, this is a full-on war ending, battles and all that stuff, so it wouldn't make sense. Can you imagine Big the Cat in a battlefield? That just doesn't make sense at all. So I can understand why he wasn't in that game, but by this time you could just tell that Sega just didn't care for this man at all. They saw this man as scum. They saw him as absolute trash. But somehow, some way, he made his grand return, his big comeback in Team Sonic Racing. I think the game is pretty mid, but the fact that they had the balls, the kahunas, to bring him back, it just makes me happy, because around this time period, this is where we started to get the adventure fans to come back in. There's a reason why in Sonic Forces, Shadow is actually playable since Sonic 06. And with the result of adventure fans, essentially millennials, having this fond nostalgia for characters like Big the Cat, Sega actually felt, they're able to actually bring back characters like Big the Cat, and that's why I feel like he was actually able to, be back into the public spotlight, to where fans actually were happy to see him in the game. I don't know what he does like in the story. I know there's like an alien cat that wants like a race or something. I don't know. I haven't played the game yet. I played like just like the racing mode. I haven't played the story, but he is in the game. He is there. Like that. That's my major point. His next appearance, his next big one. This is the one that makes me happy. Sonic Frontiers, the next mainline game, and he is fully back in a fishing game. That it fully comes full circle. The fact that he actually has a fishing game, he actually gets to have what his first intended purpose was. It's good to see him back where he belongs, man. It's great to see him back. And then they just crush my dreams, because in the update for Sonic Frontiers, it turns out he wasn't real. It wasn't the real Big the Cat. He was like a cyberspace illusion or something akin to like the levels in the game. I mean, like, damn. we were this close, man. I mean, I'm still happy. He's still technically quote unquote in the game, but still.
Big doing here? I mean, not that there's anything wrong with just going fishing.
Fishing? If you are talking about the purple portals, those are not real locations. They are a type of cyberspace recreated from your memories.
Now, that's basically it for like mainline stuff up to this current date, but we do have his last and what made me want to make this video appearance, Shadow Generations. And my god, it is so good. Because if you remember how I said in Sonic Generations, he wasn't in the game, this is his comeback, his redemption arc. He is in white space with Shadow, and it is so great to see. The fact that Shadow actually smiles seeing him, like he rarely smiles at all, and getting to see those two interact, because I don't think they ever really have before, it's really nice to see. I know it's a technicality because like Sega was basically thinking, oh wait, who wasn't in white space? And they just kind of grabbed whoever they could. But I really think it's nice. I love the dialogue that they have between each other. I love the fact that it confirms that Big the Cat was in Sonic Adventure 2. And I especially, my favorite dialogue is the fact that he met Princess Elise. The fact that Big the Cat canonically met Princess Elise is the funniest thing ever. And that's overall why I love Big the Cat. He may not be the smartest, he may not be the coolest, because I know a lot of Sonic fans want to have like these dark, edgy, larger than life stories, but sometimes it's just fun to be like Big the Cat, to sit around and just enjoy life as it is, to not have the world ending, but to just go out, enjoy the world, and just go fishing with your friends. That's why I love Big the Cat, and I hope this video makes you understand why this character is just the coolest cat on the block. That's really about it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to have a great day.